Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment, and subscribe. So today I'm going to talk about Artur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. Now, from all reports that there is going to be a unification bout in Saudi. So we need to look at both fighters and possibly give a prediction of who will win. So if you look at Beterbiev's professional record, he has 20 wins, 20 KOs. His notable fights in those 20 wins are Alexander Gradvik, Marcus Brown, Anthony Yard, and his recent victory over Callum Smith. His amateur record is 96 wins, 36 KOs, 10 losses, and 1 KO lost. Notable people he's fought, he saw Sergey Kovalev. He fought once, won on points over 4 2-minute rounds. Alexander Usyk, who he fought 3 times, won the first encounter on points on a 4 2-minute round system, and lost the other 2 by points over 3 rounds. He's got a win over Alexander Gradvik, technical knockout in the second round of a 3rd round fight. He fought Michael Hunter and lost over 3 rounds by points. And his last and final fight was a 3rd round points loss to Alexander Usyk. So from his amateur record, it seems he has problems with mobile fast boxers, i.e. Usyk, Hunter. But boxers that will stay and trade at some point, he's successful with, i.e. Kovalev. Usyk in his first encounter may not have enough experience, unlike the other 2 fights, because his record in his first fight was 14-9. The second fight, his record was 17-15. So he had amassed 61 wins and 6 losses since their first fight in the 25th of August 2007. By the second fight, in the 5th of October 2011, and their final fight, and Artur's final amateur bout in the 5th of August 2012, Usyk record then read 85-15. So he went on a 10-win streak, showing why he is and was undisputed cruiserweight champion, and now he's unified champion, heavyweight champion, and attempts to become undisputed heavyweight champion in the modern 4-belt era if he beats Fury on the 17th of February 2024. Now, Bivol has a record of 22 wins, 11 KOs, and 0 losses. His notable wins are Jean Pascal, Joe Smith Jr., Craig Richards, Canelo Alvarez, Gilberto Ramirez, and Lyndon Arthur, who just recently fought. His amateur record is 90 wins, 17 KOs, and 11 losses. His notable fights in the amateurs are Callum Smith, which he lost over 3 rounds on points, and Alexander Gradvik, which he lost. Now, styles make fights. Both fighters have similar amateur and professional records. Both are unified light heavyweight champions. Bivol holds the IBF, IBO, and the WBA super light heavyweight title, while Artur holds the WBO, IBF, and WBC super light heavyweight titles, world titles. So, should it be an even fight? Well, in a sense, no, because Beterbiev is the boxer puncher with a knockout ratio of 100%. Bivol is the boxer with a slight height advantage, about half an inch, but his KO ratio is 50%. On paper, the money is on Beterbiev. But anyway, let's look at a few clips and see if that is the case. The first clip is from Shawn Porter's podcast, and the second one is a Fight Hype interview with Lonnie B. So with no further ado,
here's my thing. You already know, I said last week, I just want to see how healthy he is. He has the kind of style that he doesn't use head movement. He will try to block shots, as you know, but he ain't really making a lot of people miss. Hence, I personally feel like the wear and tear of his kind of style, his age, what he's been through in the ring, I felt like it would show itself against Callum Smith, someone who can box, good right hand, and could work from the outside. And he walked through a lot of it, but I didn't see the stumbling that I thought I would see, you know. And you know that at a certain point, everything just starts to show like, yo, you got hurt by a jab. I'm wore down. I'm physically wore down.
Right.
You can still be strong and powerful and get somebody, but along the way, you're going to show your health. I didn't see that last night.
No, I saw a monster last night.
Yeah.
I saw a monster, and what I didn't have a chance to do is really highlight Bivol's last fight. Even though he
Go
won,
ahead, talk. Yeah.
Even though he won, I didn't see the Bivol that I expected. You know, he was pushing a lot of his punches. You know what I'm saying? The guy he was fighting really didn't have nothing to come back offensively, and he should have been a little bit more sharper than that. After seeing what I saw, the highlights from last night, I think Beterbiev walks through Bivol.
Really?
Personally, I just believe he walks through him, bro. He's a menace, bro, and I just don't see nobody stopping his style, you know, because a lot of times the skill set really offset the talent. A lot of these guys can fight, but a lot of these guys aren't skillful, bro.
Yeah.
That's what separates, you feel me, good fighters from great fighters.
Yeah.
You feel me? Poise and being able to execute when you need to execute, having complete control of a fight. I see that in Beterbiev because he don't do a lot of unnecessary movement.
No.
He don't burn a lot of energy until he start letting those hands go.
With that pressure just coming in a straight line, Artur pressure is totally different. And he's physically an animal. He's physically strong. And Artur ain't gonna slow down like Joe Smith did. And if Artur, I ain't gonna say if they ever fight, when Artur catch him, over. I promise you, I don't see it going past. I don't see it going past 5. I think Artur knocks Bivol out pretty fast. I don't think Bivol will have enough firepower to keep Artur off of him. Listen, look at when he fought little Canelo. Everybody acting like he just whooped Canelo. If you look at Canelo's face, it don't even look like Canelo was in a fight. To be fighting a light heavyweight when he's really a 54-pounder. And he had Bivol, Bivol was kind of scared. Well, I ain't gonna say kind of, he was scared to step it up and go for the knockout. He played it safe, like I'm just gonna win. With somebody that's too small and that's really a 54-pounder, he played it safe. Imagine him with a real live monster in front of him that can crack. Imagine when he get hit by him, how he gonna feel.
So from the first clip from the Shawn Porter Way podcast, we have Shawn Porter talking to the legendary Antonio Tarver, and Antonio Tarver is giving his opinion on the Beterbiev fight now with Callum Smith, and he is of the opinion that if Bivol and Beterbiev fight, Beterbiev's going to walk through him just based off what he saw. Now, people seem to think that age may be catching up with Beterbiev. A lot of people wrote Beterbiev off in the Callum Smith fight and said Callum Smith would be too technical, he's too good. And to some degree, I understand where people are coming from. And again, I think people are going to come to that assumption in the Bivol fight, upcoming Bivol fight. But to me, what Tarver was saying, it kind of makes sense, because not only can Beterbiev box with you, he conserves energy. And it's like with the Yard fight, when you look at the Yard fight, he struggled with Yard's style, but once he figured Yard out, he broke Yard down and he patiently waited. Yeah, we took a few shots, and it's boxing, you're going to take shots. And he knew what to do to beat Yard, and Yard is no slouch, to be fair. The only thing with Yard, what I think has let Yard down, is he's been rushed a bit too soon, and I think the rush to get fame and success with the Kovalev fight, that kind of was his undoing. He should have probably had maybe a couple more fights prior to that and had that fight. And to be honest, I understand, because I watched an interview with him saying that he wouldn't step aside, and he said, well, I'm the number one now, so you have to fight me, and he could have stepped aside. I think he should have stepped aside, took the money, fought Lyndon Arthur or somebody of that calibre beforehand, fought a few more of the other English fighters and built up his experience, then went for the Kovalev fight, then then he could have possibly got them other opportunities, because what it is now he's just going to be a gatekeeper, a high-level gatekeeper, in the sense that he's good, but he's never going to be quite world level, even though he's touching it, because he's not got that experience. He's had 3 losses, and one of the losses is avenged, but these other 2 losses he may never get the chance to avenge them, because he got beat, I wouldn't say comprehensively, but the first fight with Kovalev, he did have a chance to beat Kovalev, and arguably shouldn't have emptied the tank, but hit ifs and buts. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is with the Beterbiev fight, he gave Beterbiev a hard fight, and Beterbiev said that's the hardest fight he's ever been in. But that's the thing, these hard fights, what Yarde's going into, if he keeps going into them, eventually he's going to leave a lot in the ring, and he's not going to have anything left to actually progress to that level where he needs to get higher. The ceiling's going to stay where it is. Now, back to the clip. The point I'm trying to make is what Tarver was saying is that because of his experience and his power, and remember, he's only had 20 fights, and in every fight he's knocked everyone out. And I think he was saying, if you watch the rest of the interview, I'll leave a link in the description, that it's insane how he's not on the pound for pound list, because he's basically unified, going to possibly be undisputed, and he's knocked everyone out, and he's not number 1. And I kind of get where he is, get what he's saying, because he's sitting just below cruiserweight, and then he could even possibly go up to heavyweight, and like what Usyk's done, because he fought Usyk in the amateur, like I said earlier on in the video, so he may want to get the chance to avenge the other 2 losses. But the thing what is pertinent about it is I was saying that I wanted to see the winner of this fight Jay Opetaia. Now I will play a clip, and Turki Al-Ashik actually came up with that sentiment in an interview with Adi, and I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll play a little bit of that audio as well later on. And he wants basically the winner of this fight, the Beterbiev and Bivol fight, to fight Jay Opetaia. And wouldn't it be funny if the person that fought Jay Opetaia then decided to move up to heavyweight and then fought Usyk at some point, if Usyk's still around and if Usyk's still undisputed. But even if Usyk's not, I think it would still be interesting just to see them fight Usyk, whoever won, fight Usyk anyway, because he's sort of touching in that weight category with them. Do you know what I mean? And then we could actually say, if it is Beterbiev, if he is pound for pound number 1, because he's come up from light heavyweight, cruiserweight, then heavyweight. So that is a big jump, but some people dare to be great. But anyway, the next clip by Fight Hype is an interview with Lonnie B, and he was a sparring partner of Beterbiev, and he just says that he's no joke. He's no joke, because if you watch the rest of the interview, I'll leave a link in the description, he talks about basically Beterbiev will just walk through Bivol and he'll do it in 5 rounds. And not just that, he actually gives his own experience as to why, and then he actually explains a few other things about him sparring him when he first sparred him, and then how he kept sparring him and he kept thinking he'd beat him and he could never beat him. And then, like, if you watch the rest of the interview's really, really good. He even talks about how certain other fighters are massive, they're massive for the weight, and he just dispatches them easy, like they're nothing, and he's a smaller guy. So it just shows you that he has that like ingrained strength, that physical strength, that even though he's a smaller guy, he's just powerful. He's a powerful unit, if you get what I'm saying, for the weight, and he's like natural at that weight. So if he moved up, would it slow him down? But if he moved up naturally, possibly, would he retain the strength? But like, if he's knocking out guys that are bigger than him, he could arguably push a little bit more weight on him and still have the same effect within the strength and power scope, because he is conservative with his punches. He doesn't waste punches, and he doesn't waste energy, and he's very, very, very patient, even though sometimes he can be a little bit tentative to actually get at the person. But like with the Callum Smith fight, you just saw him rush him straight away. And I think it's a case of, if you can't keep him off you you're in problems, and that's the problem. Eventually, he finds a way to corner you, pressure you, and just break you down and then knock you out. And he has power. So I think I wouldn't, at first, I didn't think that it would be an easy prediction to give with Bivol and Beterbiev. But after watching these clips and then watching a few more fights and watching a few more things, and just in general watching how the fighters are fighting and the physical stature and stuff, I'm more inclined to head towards Beterbiev, and I would say 60-40 that Beterbiev will knock him out and win. And I kind of agree with Tarver and Lonnie B, just because, not because of their boxes and their opinions, just like the more you think about it logically, the knockout percentage and the fact that he's not been stopped, and it's not been since the amateurs, since he's had problems with certain people that are fast and mobile. He's not going to have that problem with Bivol. I think Bivol kind of maybe a few injuries, not fighting enough, you know, likes to be safe. I don't think that you will have that opportunity to actually do that with Beterbiev. He'll have to step it up. So if he steps it up, there is a possibility he could win on points. I don't see him knocking him out, but styles make fights, so you'd never really know. But I'm going to just nod towards Beterbiev, and I am going to go for the knockout. And if he manages to survive, he's going to take damage, Bivol, if he wins the fight. So it's one of them. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Who have you got? And would you like to see the winner fight, Jay or Patayo? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. And that.